European research project EMBRACE is all about understanding how communities are preparing, coping with and recovering from natural hazards, what an EMBRACE researcher would call community resilience. This was an FP7 project which started in 2011 and ran until 2015. It included research to identify key dimensions of resilience and to show conceptually how these contributory parts of community resilience fit together within a continuous loop, as you can see in the figure. These ideas were tested in different contexts: in the UK, Germany and Central Europe, Turkey, and the Italian and Swiss Alps. This video will focus on the South Tyrol case study in Italy, which was led by the local partner EURAC, European Academy of Bolzano, supported by the Stockholm Environment Institute. The case study combined existing data sets on hazard and risk with social science research, including a population survey, interviews, and social network mapping. Let's start here on a national level with the National Inventory of Landslide Events in Italy. The map shows how sensitive different areas in Italy are to landslides, with red indicating a high sensitivity. Fortunately, most of the events are very small. However, in the past 50 years, landslide disasters have left more than 5,000 dead or injured, highlighting how important the management of this type of disaster is. The region of South Tyrol is a typical Alpine environment characterized by steep slopes and narrow river valleys. It faces a great variety of natural hazards. Hazards are often linked with each other. In Trafoi, for example, a massive ice slab collapsed and triggered a debris flow, which then slid into a river causing flooding. The permanent presence of hazards affects not only the natural, but also the built environment. In South Tyrol, the public authorities are responsible for the risk management of natural hazards. At a local level, the municipalities are a key player in risk management for communities. This is where we will be heading now. The EMBRACE case study focused on the small Alpine community of Badia, where residents also are very familiar with different types of hazards. In December 2012, this area shown was hit by an exceptionally big landslide. This movement was triggered by heavy rain and temperature variations in the weeks and months before the event. Warnings were issued and 37 people from 4 hamlets needed to be evacuated. Thus, although nobody was injured, several buildings were entirely destroyed, and the event had a huge impact on people's risk perception. People that were directly affected perceived future probability of landslides as significantly higher than those who weren't. The study looked at the role of indigenous knowledge and risk perception, which is particularly relevant as 200 years ago there had been a landslide in exactly the same place. So, after the event, what has been most important in building resilience? Traditional local knowledge has been crucial. Most people got their information about past hazards from family and other community members, far more than from other media. Social networks and a strong sense of community also proved to be very valuable for dealing with the impacts of the hazard, and will also help build resilience in the long term. Social networks were mapped, such as the response network based on the survey question, which organisations would you go to in case of an emergency, which is shown here. This shows, and this is consistent with local emergency plan, who people would turn to for help in an emergency. The Volunteer Fire Brigade and the municipality of Badia at the centre of the network. Shared understanding of roles helps with effective organisation, especially during emergencies. Previous familiarity among the individuals concerned increases trust and quality of work. In conclusion, in South Tyrol, a highly exposed area to natural hazards, we worked at multiple levels of risk management, and especially at the local level, where we learnt many things from the experience of the communities. It really showed that response to disasters is complex. People often draw on local knowledge in the community, as well as their connections to authorities and services at the municipal and provincial level, so long as they are trusted. Risk perception, as well as satisfaction with authorities, may change rapidly. Knowing the actors working in the organisations leads to trust, and the actors themselves being part of the community leads to a better understanding of community needs and perceptions. This research shows the value of joining data sets on hazards, social perceptions, and the networks within communities. The results are of benefit for the local authorities and can help improve existing risk management. Further information can be found on the Embrace Project website.